So I actually started my journey when I was like 11 years old. I began with creating content, just uploading it on YouTube. And then I remember a sense of purpose and belongingness in my long time happiness where I was able to create content and just like upload it and I see myself in big screen TV. It was like a magic for me. I was like a filmmaker. I was doing film directing and then I was also scripting myself and I was also uploading myself and then I'm doing the pre-production, post-production and the whole character itself. It's just me. I was the woman, I was the born, I was everything. So that passion actually continued to my freelance journey where I started offering video editing services and also teaching people about social media analytics and how to grow their businesses online. Then I started like creating tons of rapid videos. It was like I have a lot of gaming channels. I have a lot of reaction videos, and then I started scaling up on self-fulfillment businesses, tried different business platforms and models, and then I committed a lot of mistakes. And that mistake actually led me to build a good foundation on scaling an agency up to 6 to 7 figures a month. And right now I'm just working on how to automate and teach this to young people so that they can understand it as a student, freelancer, or a small business owner that want to scale online. Firstly, we need foundational and mindset shift. So as an entrepreneur, it's normal to actually feel negatives or positives in our lives. However, many are just like giving up too early. I saw that many content creators, digital entrepreneurs, or marketers actually have a plan but ends up not doing it at all. Maybe number one, because they lack skills and experience. And number two, they actually became undisciplined about their actions and their mindset. So turns out they're actually failing on the long run. So I think it's not actually sustainable for us to scale an agency where we don't have the right mindset. There's a quotation that says that 80% of business is about mindset and 20% of it is about systems and strategies. If you don't have the right mindset, you won't be able to build a foundational and secure systems and skills that you can implement. Because first of all, you're already experiencing the doubts in your mind and you don't know how to handle it. You've already constructed yourself in a limited context where you don't want to expand your mindset, where you don't believe yourself you can scale an agency. You don't believe yourself that you will have a whole client. And you just constantly doubt other creators and coaches like us that those advices that we give to you might not be possible because of your mindset that your dreams will never become realities. Let's be realistic and never achieve your dreams. So that's just your mind. And you have to control it. That's why it's important for us, a foundational, a mindset that we need to develop. And also, when it comes to countering those negativities and positivities that we experience, those are just equal. There's no such thing as right or greater or wrong. And when it comes to goal setting and vision, it's important for us to actually set clear, achievable goals, setting specific and measurable, attainable goals that we have and make sure to put a deadline on it. Just based on my experience, if you don't really write your own goals, ends up you're not going to achieve that goal. And when it comes to the vision, many people are just saying that, oh, it's just like an imagination and you begin to visualize things. It's just on your vision. But actually, if you're visualizing your goals that you're achieving it, and if you're affirming yourself, you're already that person, even if you're not. You're actually contributing that to your belief systems and to your identity until it becomes a habit, until it becomes your identity as well. So that is the importance of visualizing and setting specific goals based on my experience. And it actually comes to skill development and expertise. It's important for us to have continuous learning. When we say continuous learning, it is something that we continuously learn every single day without excuses or even just a little bit of rest. And then we continue to work on it. Continuous learning is relentless learning. Despite of your negative emotions that you experience, you still handle it at the end of the day. Continuous learning is about building your passion on consuming content, utilizing social media tools, using AI tools so that you can utilize and optimize and maximize your productivity, your self-improvement, and your literacy when it comes to finances and scaling an agency. So investing in education is not just about the traditional education that we have, for example, in my university, but it's more about investing your education, using your time, willingness, commitment, dedication in your own time, using specific tools and platforms so that you can utilize your skills and experience so that it can help, number one, yourself, number two, it can help others. And it's important for us when developing our skill and expertise, we have to start in niche. Niche, by definition, means giving your specific skills to a specific client. So right now, as young as you are, I do encourage you to discover first your experience. And once you discover it, all over the long run. It may take like weeks, months, and even years. Once you develop the one skill that you really want, after trying all of those countless disciplines and skills that you want to discover, you need to build on that specific skill and then think about how can it solve your client's biggest problem. I'm not saying about an ordinary client. I'm specifically saying your dream client. Where are you specifically targeting? What country? What demographies? What specific traits? What specific personal preferences? What type of behavior are you targeting? And where are they located at? What are their fashion? What are their values? What platforms are they actually using? The third thing to scale actually an agency is to develop a strong foundation. When we say a strong foundation, I'm talking about the agency model itself, the business model itself. You already have specific strategy that you can plan out for the long term. There's a difference between tactic and strategy. Tactic means for short term. How can you handle specific issues? How can you focus on limited opportunities that you have in the market? Are you able to plan out to get the right opportunities quickly? Or when you face an issue right away, how do you handle it? How do you handle it using tactics? And when it comes to strategy, it's more about long term, like 3 to 5 to 10 years. How do you actually plan to stand out in the market using long term strategy? How do you plan to get your ideal clients for the next 5 to 10 years? How do you plan to have the vision to commit your goals to the vision that you had for the next 5 to 10 years? It's more about being futuristic, and tactic is more about the daily operations of the business. How can you strategize your daily operations? How do you close a client daily? How do you find clients daily? That's the difference between tactic and strategic strategy. And one of the part of building and one of the foundation of building a digital agency is actually having financial literacy. So this is very important because when you begin earning a lot of money, you don't know what to do, where to invest, or how to budget it, and where to allocate it, and what ventures to actually take opportunity. If you don't have that skill when it comes to financial literacy and managing your cash flow and establishing your scalable pricing structure, or how do you change this pricing depending on the market's performance, on the economic performance, depending on the client's preferred pricing and negotiation tactics and strategies, etc. and so forth, then you'll end up losing your very own revenue that you've generated from your agency. So that's the problem of many business owners and content creators. They don't know how to strategize their own finances and money in the long term. And that's why, at the end, their business, many, according to statistics, for the next after the business is established for 3 to 5 years, almost 50 to 80% of them actually failed or didn't survive. So you want to be included in that range. If not, you have to build a foundation in your financial literacy and strategic planning. So, number 4, to actually scaling an agency from zero experiences, etc. and so forth, is I've developed an effective team building strategy. Team building strategy is about managing your people's emotion, managing your people's preferences, giving them incentives. If it's not monetary, it is something that you will communicate with them strategically. You can either give them a praise or appreciate their work, give them a feedback. More likely, they're going to appreciate it and they're going to be motivated. If you're creating an environment where they just work and give tasks and delegate to them without giving them meaning or purpose, then you're not motivating them. You're actually just making them an employee and a robot where you give them they're not passionate or they don't find meaning on it. So creating an effective building team for your agency, so it will scale necessarily, is to identify the specific roles and the specific skills and the specific preferences of this employee that they want to learn and to have experience in. So I believe as an entrepreneur, you are solely responsible on managing your team in terms of how you speak to them, how you communicate with them, how you lead them, how do you delegate your tasks. How do you create a positive work culture where you can bring your team all together despite of your diversity and different ideas? How do you actually collaborate? How do you create systems so that they can work together efficiently? The 5th step is actually client acquisition and retention. So that you can get a client, you must have the basic marketing strategy. Before you actually learn about specific marketing strategy tactics that you can use, you must first understand what is the definition of marketing. For me, the definition of marketing is about just getting people's attention. That's the main goal of marketing. And it's not just mainly about selling. Because in marketing, it's the process of how can you, your brand, your company, your product, your service, to get noticed by people. And then, once they notice it, how can you nurture that attention so that they get be aware of their problem, consider your product, and buy your product, all right? So attention is the first place where you can capture people's attention so that they can buy your services or products by offering value. One of the marketing strategies that I do is lead generation. Lead generation, in simple terms, is about getting potential clients that is interested in your services and then converting into 100% custom. That's for me. And when it comes to getting clients using marketing strategy, it's important for us to network with other employees or specialists who knows how to get leads, or other agency owners, so that we can develop a marketing strategy on how can we better get clients more faster and more efficient as an agency owner. And when it comes to client relationship management or CRM, most companies, or totally 100% of successful companies, use CRM so that they can manage their customers. And one of them is providing exceptional customer service. We can actually see them that every company has a customer support where you give your problem and then the customer representative handles it. Same as a business. How do you handle your customer's problem more efficient, more effective? And do you actually have specific strategy on how you can retain a client, or how can you make them satisfied by bringing more value and actually solving their problems or their issues if they face it on your current products or the services that you offer? Client acquisition is where you get customers. Client retention is where you retain the customer that you got on the long term, right? Next one is scaling strategies. Do you actually know how to scale and automate an agency? Because right now, we already have AI and technology and tools that is available on the market even just for free. But are you actually the type of freelancer, student, or small business owner who know how to leverage these things or even to find these things? If not, then you might need a mentor or someone who is knowledgeable about these platforms and tools so that they can scale your agency on the right way. If you believe that you don't need a mentor or a coach, then you're probably setting yourself in a quite very lengthy path to success. Because first thing that you need to consider is the time and experience that you need to build over the years so that you can be successful in this. If you hire a mentor, you're actually buying their time and their experience. You can get the result that you want in your agency 10 times more faster. Number two, if you don't hire a mentor, then you're probably engaging yourself in a one perspective mindset where you just thinking about yourself, brainstorming, figuring all this out without proper guidance. So you'll end up failing your business, number one. Or number two, you'll end up confusing your journey and just like confuse, and never build a successful business. So that's the importance of mentors. And when it comes to diversification, we have to expand our services and enter a new market. We have to have specific strategy on how can we leverage those services and then just expand that services to the market. You already have your unique value proposition. You already have your marketing strategy and campaign. You already even build your own an agency before you even scale it. So diversification is important so that when for example, a video editing service already is dying because someone made an artificial intelligence where you can just edit your video by just uploading your files and then the AI will edit it to you. Chances are that services will die. And then do you actually have other services that you have diversified like social media management, marketing, virtual assistant? Do you have those services on the back of your agency rather than just like already providing one service on your agency? So you have to be strategic and to diversify it. So we also have to manage growth effectively. A business is not just about growing, but it's actually managing that growth so that you can maintain and retain that growth along in the future. And when it comes to number 7, to building a 7-figure agency, is are you willing to overcome specific challenges that you as an agency, or are you prepared to it mentally, or do you have the right mindset, which is 80% of a business? Chances are you might assume that you already know everything. You already know how to utilize this. You already know what marketing is all about for this and this and that. But by that phrase, you're actually telling that you're limiting your growth to yourself and you're not willing to be mentored by someone, or you're not willing to know more for there about the right strategies and systems, which is constantly changing every day with this day and age of technology. If you have that fixed mindset, you'll never grow. You'll never scale. The best phrase that you can do is to say to yourself, I know nothing. Because if you assume that you know nothing, you're willing to be open to other people's ideas. You're willing to collaborate. You're willing to talk with mentors and coaches. You're willing to collaborate with other freelancers and agency owners. And by that, then you're able to adapt and be flexible to the market that is always changing. That's it. Setback is just simple as this. When you face a problem, you stay back and you don't continue. So that's a setback. And that's stopping 99% of the entrepreneurs. Because of the setback that they experience, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know what's the meaning behind it. They don't know how to tackle it. They don't have the right tactics and strategies to overcome those setbacks. They eventually quit in the very first place. The reason why the top 1% of entrepreneurs stand out in the market is because they know how to handle setbacks. They already have a set of mentors that will help them face those failures that they experience, to learn from those failures. If they don't know how to interpret and learn from those failures, they hire coaches, they network with other entrepreneurs, they build the right systems in their minds, not just in business. And stress management is important because if you don't know how to manage your stress in an agency, then you wouldn't be able to handle a business in the first place. Because handling a business is just like similar to handling yourself. In the very first place, if you can't control your emotion and be disciplined, then you cannot ever build an agency and scale it in the very first place. So it's all about balancing your work to your personal life. Balancing your work, balancing your business from your values or your hobbies. How can you able to diversify your time with diverse priorities? How do you set your mind, manage your life, so that you can manage other people and the business itself? Have you ever questioned those to yourself? Do you know specific strategies about handling stress and burnout in case that you face it? Do you already have experience on it and did something about it, wrote it down so that you can, in case that you've experienced it, you have a strategy? So practically, if you want to build an agency from the very first place, the first thing that you need to do is to fix your mindset. The next is to build the skill and create a niche. 3 is to build a strong foundation. Do you have the right foundation when it comes to managing the business? Do you already know how to communicate with your clients and to negotiate? Do you already know the process itself and what is it like to build an agency so that you can prepare yourself? You already have the strong foundation in your mindset in the very first place. And number 4, do you know how to build an effective team? Do you know how to hire? Do you know how to recruit the right people? Do you know how to outsource what platforms to use in the very first place so that you can have an effective team? And number 5, do you know how to get the clients? And number 5, do you know how to get the clients and retain them on the long run so that you will have a revenue that is consistent? And do you know how to actually scale your business, automate it, and have the right systems and strategies? Do you already have the mentor to do it and to advise what to do specifically so that you can earn your time? And do you already have overcome the challenges that you have? Do you know how to learn from failures, manage your emotion, manage your stress? Have you actually talked and collaborate it with other agency owners and mentors? If not, you're not ready to scale your business from 0 to hero. That's why in this video, I'm actually telling you how to be your own hero. For the very first place, the way that you can actually scale your agency is it will start from yourself. You'll have the right advantage if you have the right mindset and the system that you have. My greatest advice for you, if you want to scale an agency, just think of a way, maybe train some video editing or maybe find YouTube videos on how to scale an agency by using my video editing skill. Maybe I already know how to video edit, but I don't know how to outsource. Maybe the thing that I need to do is to actually create a GDoc and then get most of the link sources that I can find in the web and then just like combine those ideas and make a strategy on myself. Or maybe I could find a mentor where I could actually scale and automate my business using the available resources that I have so that I can create more time and experience for myself without actually consuming a lot of my time in years before I actually build an agency. So I hope as an entrepreneur, as young as you are, you're fired up, right? If you're an entrepreneur, if you're an employee that is stuck on a 9-to-5 job, if you're just a small business owner but want to end in this business model, all you have to do is to actually first build your mindset, and number 2, build the right systems, right? So fire that.